Canola. Good morning. Good morning. Well, actually, it's like noon, so it's technically not morning now. Well, wherever you're at, it's a beautiful day, and welcome. Someone says hello. Come here, my love. Come here. You go come here. Yeah, good girl. Oh, nope, she's not. Oh, but Nacho says hi. He says hello. Yeah. How is everybody? Welcome. Welcome to the bright side with me, Audrey. And today we are going to be talking about the Schumann resonance and why that's important. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because there was a spike in activity yesterday, and there's been several significant spikes over the last week. So I wanted to explain that, and then if you have any questions, for all of you sciencey people out there, this is going to be really fascinating for you, but this is also really cool because I'll explain why this affects everybody. It affects the entire globe. So, the Schumann resonance, there's a website, there's a scientist in Russia who studies this, and I'm on his website right now, and he kind of explains what the Schumann resonance is. Let's see, where is his definition? Because I want to read it for you. His website has grown a whole lot. There's been a lot of attention drawn to it in the past, and so now it's totally grown like a whole lot. I'm not seeing where he describes what the Schumann resonance is, but so I'm just going to explain to you what that is in my own words. The Schumann resonance was discovered in the 1960s by a scientist who discovered that planet Earth is resonating at a specific frequency. It literally emits a sound or a vibration or a frequency. And that frequency has been established and known to be 7.8 hertz, I believe, is what it normally, 7.83 hertz. That's the base frequency. And to kind of put this more into perspective, you've probably all heard how the Schumann resonance, or how everything has a vibration. Every object, every person, everything has a vibration. And most people kind of think that's hogwash because it's just some new agey thing that people believe in, and it's more spiritual. But there's actual science that shows everything vibrates on a certain frequency, and it's just the way things are. It's the science. So the person who discovered the Schumann resonance, or the frequency in which the planet Earth vibrates, his last name was Schumann, so this was named after him. It stayed at a baseline of about 7.8 hertz for the last, what has it been, 70 years, 75 years. And starting last fall, all of a sudden, we started seeing huge spikes in the frequency. Last, I want to say September, one day we got up to 99 hertz. That's the highest we've ever seen the Schumann resonance go to. Now remember, the baseline is 7.8 hertz. So for it to spike to 99 hertz is a huge spike. And then we saw a whole lot of other spikes somewhere between the neighborhood of 20 and 60 hertz, all over the space of probably 3 months towards the end of last year. Every day was a little different. So if you remember back, you probably had a hard time, and you might have felt a lot of tension. You might have felt some weird physical symptoms, maybe kind of like, I know that I felt like I was starting to get sick a few times. And then when I checked, sure enough, the Schumann resonance had spiked that day, and higher, it had jumped. So anyways, yesterday we had a huge spike. It spiked up to 60 hertz. We've been hanging out around 13 to 20 hertz on average over the last few months. And so for it to just all of a sudden spike, we had some pretty big spikes last week as well. We've also seen, I've seen a correlation between the spikes in the Schumann resonance and seismic activity. The earthquakes and things that have been happening around the globe seem to, I'm the one who's putting these together, 2 and 2 together, is that on the days where there's been earthquakes, we've also seen huge spikes in the Schumann resonance. So this is definitely, there is some science here, and nobody really knows what the Schumann resonance is or why it's there or what's going on, and especially recently, why we've been having spikes. I, from a spiritual standpoint, would say that I believe that there is a huge correlation why this is so important right now. A lot of people are really afraid, but here's the positive side of things, because I really want to point this out. The planet Earth is going through an unprecedented time right now, where it's been, for America alone, it's been 8 days now where we've all been all stuck inside, and there's been way less activity, and our pollution levels are going way down, and there's a lot of other healing happening in nature. And I was mentioning yesterday on my live stream how Mother Earth seems to really be getting an opportunity to heal. But if anybody here has been through any kind of traumatic event, you'll know that while you're still going through it, usually it's just about getting through it and surviving the moment. But once the trauma stops is when the processing usually starts to happen. You go through kind of a detox, or you go kind of through this, that's when, if you're suffering from PTSD, that's when the nightmares will start. At least that's the way it's been in my experience. And so I think my theory here is that the Earth is finally getting a break and is starting to be able to process through all the damage that's been done. And I think we're seeing some spikes in the Schumann resonance and seismic activity as an after effect of the Earth beginning to heal. Leave a comment and let me know what you think of that, because this is my opinion. It's a theory that I've kind of been coming up with, and I'm noticing some correlations between these different things that I'm seeing happen simultaneously. So I could be completely off base, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now is going on in the world. And I feel like this is a really great, it's a great thing. The healing process isn't always fun, and it's not always pleasant, but it is a good thing. And I think we can all agree on that. So, anyways, the Schumann resonance is important. The reason why I bring this up, aside from what I just explained, is that when it comes to rocks and crystals and things like that, every single one of the rocks on planet Earth are connected to the Earth, and so they naturally vibrate at the same rate as the Earth, at the Schumann resonance in general. Some do vibrate at a higher rate and others vibrate at a lower rate, and that's what makes them original and unique. But as a whole, we're all a part of Mother Earth. And so when I talk about the benefits of certain rocks and crystals, understand there is some science behind this, that the vibrations that they resonate at are, well, let's explain it kind of like this. If you take 2 guitars and you set them side by side and you strum the strings of one of the guitars, the strings on the other guitar are going to start vibrating and resonating because of where this guitar is resonating at. So they can affect one another, even though this one was never touched. That's the same way that vibrations affect us. When we walk into a room, let's say we walk into a room where somebody's really upset, you can cut the tension with a knife. That's a vibration, and that vibration is now affecting you, and it can affect you adversely or it can affect you positively. So when it comes to rocks and crystals, I mean like just regular rocks that, you wouldn't even think are special. They're resonating at a base frequency. And if you're struggling, this can really help ground you, just in the science of it. So anyway, leave a comment. I mean, I really am excited to hear what you guys have to say, how you're doing today, and what you think of the Schumann resonance. Do you have any theories or anything to add to the conversation? I see there's a few of you here, and this would be really, really cool to discuss and see. Hi, Mike. Yeah, isn't it though? It's really interesting. Just doing the science. I've really been getting into and diving into a lot of the science behind the vibrations of different rocks and healing crystals. By the way, tomorrow we're going to discuss the healing benefits of salt lamps, salt, Himalayan salt. We eat it and we use it, but after doing the science on it and researching it last night, it just blew me away. I'm so excited to share that with you. Yeah, it's something most people would never have even thought of. Most people don't even know the Schumann resonance exists, and the people who do don't know what it is, or what it's for, or what it's doing, or why it does the way that the things that it does. And especially with all the spikes. Tell me if you felt off or tired or lethargic yesterday, because yesterday was a pretty significant spike. We went from probably, I think it was around 17 hertz the day before, and spiked all the way to 60 hertz. That's quite a drastic jump in one day. Let's see. 17. Yep. It went from 17 hertz to 60 yesterday. And then it hung out around 50 to 56 through most of the day, which is also pretty significant, because when we get spikes, usually it's just quick and then it kind of goes away. But we actually hung out. Today we're hanging out at a power of 46 hertz. So that's still a lot higher. If you're feeling off or tired, I think, Mike, duh. Yeah. I know that I've noticed a huge correlation when we get spikes in the Schumann resonance. I feel off. I have a theory about that too. I think that we as a human being, we kind of establish ourselves on a base frequency. And this is where we typically have our equilibrium and our balance, and we vibrate at our frequency. And when something that we're used to being around all of a sudden spikes in its frequency, now there's this huge disparity, this huge pull, and it's either pulling you up or pushing you away. And it can throw us all off balance until we kind of find our equilibrium. It's interesting because the Earth really hasn't gone back down to 7.8 hertz ever since last fall. It's been about 6 months now. So as a group consciousness, it's pulling all of our vibrations up higher. It's putting this tension on us and pulling us. And it can be difficult trying to regain your balance when there is something like that that's pulling on you. However, I see this as quite a positive thing. It's raising our vibrations. And typically when something vibrates at a higher frequency, it's a lot more positive, and there are a lot more benefits all around, physical, spiritual, medical, health-wise. There's just a ton of benefits when we're vibrating at a higher frequency. And we can feel it, when we walk around or go around somebody who's really positive and happy, they are vibrating at a higher frequency. So, yeah. What do you think? Tell me what you think. I'm really excited to know. And, if you couldn't make it here live, make sure that you comment, because I want to know, and I'm going to be checking comments, and maybe we can circle back around to this topic. in a few days, especially if there's another spike or something. Maybe, it'd be kind of interesting to do a little experiment as a group and see what people think is going on and how it's affecting you in your life. I'd be really curious. I wonder if all the building grounding has something to do with that spike. Every new building is grounded. It could be. It could affect it. Vibrating a little low today. Oh, Rita. Yeah, yesterday was a tough day too. I don't know if you just got here, but yesterday was a huge spike, and I definitely felt it. There was this big disparity, and I felt, all this tension and anxiety, and I couldn't explain it, and I didn't know what was happening. It was like someone took my rubber band and just stretched it, and I was waiting for it to snap. But yeah, oh, smile. Happy, Rita. It's a beautiful day still. I'm sitting here with my coffee, and guess what? I have a message for you. Love. It's all love. It's all love. Happy vibrations. We'll lift each other up. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about the healing aspect of Himalayan salt crystals and Himalayan salt lamps. There's a lot of science. I just delved into it. I was up way late doing the research, and it was just amazing. So I can't wait to share that with you tomorrow. Make sure that you join me. I'm thinking if we do more around lunchtime every day, that might be good, where people can join us a little bit more. And yeah, I'm going to put the link to the Schumann Resonance website down below, so you can check the description a little later if you want to keep track of it. I keep track of the Schumann Resonance every day and figure out what's going on. And so, if you really want to keep track of that too, I'll leave the link below. And also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And then if you want to stay in the loop with everything that's going on, hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I go live. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. And is Mercury in retrograde again? No, Mercury just came out of retrograde. But I love you. Yeah, we just came out of retrograde. However, we do have a lot of other difficult aspects going on right now, and I think the Schumann resonance definitely has something to do with that. So just hang in there, Rita. Hang in there. Much love. Remember, guys, never let anybody steal your sunshine. And with that, I will see you tomorrow.